Well, in a compound sentence, first you need to know that, let's say, the definition of a clause. A clause is part of the sentence, or it can be itself one simple sentence in which there's a subject and one verb. So this is the definition of a clause. We say, for example, I went home and I took a shower. So this is only one sentence because we do not have a full stop up to the end. We say I went home and I took a shower. So this sentence has got two clauses because the first part that says I went home, this is one clause. Why is it called a clause? Because it has a subject that is I and it has its own main verb that is went. And then we say, and I took a shower. This is another clause because again there's another main verb and let's say its own subject. So in this sentence there are two clauses. Okay, so by a compound sentence we mean when we generally have at least two clauses that can be three or even four, and the clauses have been joined through coordination. What do we mean by coordination? We mean using words like and, or, but, so, yet, nor, for. Okay, when we use one of these words that are called coordinators to let's say connect two clauses together, the sentence becomes a compound sentence. Then we have complex sentences. Complex sentences are the ones let's say in which we always have one dependent and one independent clause. In compound sentences we normally have two or three or more let's say independent clauses, but in complex sentences one of the clauses becomes dependent. That means it cannot be used alone. So there are three types of complex sentences. Complex sentences with adverbial clauses, with adjective clauses, and also noun clauses. And finally, when we have a combination of compound and complex sentences, the sentence becomes complex compound. So you need to have a good understanding of the types of sentences, and then you need to use mainly complex and complex compound sentences. Simple and compound sentences are to be avoided. When I say they are to be avoided, that does not mean that it's wrong, it's a mistake to use them. No, it's not. But you'd better use mainly complex and complex compound sentences in your writings. Well, the last strategy here is, let's say, revising the order of the ideas. Sometimes we can change the order of the ideas. Like, for example, in a paragraph, there might be several reasons for something, reason 1, 2, 3, and the reasons might be mentioned, for example, using the order of importance, like from the most important to the least. So when you are paraphrasing the text, you can revise the order. Like, for example, you can introduce the reasons from the, let's say, least important to the most important, as you can see here, for example, in this table. Okay, example of poor paraphrasing. This is the original text that says, the poor student's achievements surprised their teacher. She attributed her students' success to their diligence and the support given by the school. So this is the original text. See, we have brought exactly the same text with only some changes in only the words. Instead of achievements, we have used success. Instead of, let's say, surprised, we have used astonished. Well, it's a fact that we have changed, let's say, some of the words and we have used their synonyms. But the thing is, this is poor paraphrasing. Why? Because we have, let's say, chosen only one strategy, which is changing the words. There are other three strategies that we need to apply in order to have, let's say, a well paraphrased text. So this is an example. We have original text, poorly paraphrased, and effectively paraphrased text. You see, in the poorly paraphrased text, we have changed only some of the words, while in effectively paraphrased text, we have made many different changes to the words, to probably the active or passive voice, to the order of the ideas, and to the structure of the sentence too. So this is what we mean by poorly and effectively paraphrased text. And here we have different steps toward, let's say, paraphrasing. We say step number 1 is to read the assigned text. You first need to read it carefully to understand the ideas. Step 2 is to identify the main ideas and supporting details. Understanding the structure of a paragraph and the structure of an essay will help you, let's say, identify the important points, let's say the main ideas in an essay or in a paragraph. Step 3 is write the main ideas and supporting details on a piece of paper using your own words. So the whole idea is this. First, you need to read to understand the text carefully, then underline or highlight the important keywords. Write them down separately. Okay, write them down separately in the form of, let's say, sentences or even words or phrases. And then you can, let's say, after you write down the important points, you can write your own sentence and use them. It's like, it's almost like making an outline of a text that you're going to present. Once you're having a lecture, you find, for example, a piece of article, you take notes, you make an outline for yourself, and then you use your own language. You use your own words and sentences to explain the same thing. This is all you need to do, let's say, for these steps of paraphrasing. So step 4 says check your points against the original text. Has any information been left out? Because you're not allowed to make any changes to the opinion. So you will have to make sure that the opinions are all the same and all of them have been mentioned and there is no change. And step 5, start writing your paraphrase text and cite the original writer or source work. This is all you need to do for paraphrasing.